Hello everybody and welcome to Wesley's Plant World with me, Wesley Peterson, and today we are out in the area of my garden called the Botanical Garden because I want to do an extension of my border that I have going on behind my beautiful apple tree I have here. This is my Malus domestica Ingrid Marie, and I want to extend the border that I have here behind me out around to the front of this tree so that this tree becomes part of the border. Now, I did a video not that long ago where I extended out the part of the border here so that it enveloped the apple tree I have here, and now I have a much wider, thicker border. I have many more perennial plants in here that are evergreen for the most part. And the tree looks absolutely fabulous in the border. I can still get to the apples and I really enjoy the shape. So I want to envelop this tree as well so that the wave carries on around that tree and around down here, giving us an enclave for our table over here on the side. And again, a lot more lovely evergreen plants that I can plant into the area, and that tree becoming part of the border instead of in the middle of the grass and an area behind that we actually don't use for anything. So what's the point of keeping grass there when I can have lovely perennial plants growing? So there'll be a wave so that I can still get close to this tree and get the apples that we need to be able to get every season, which is now. We've just been out and collected all the apples and I've made some wonderful applesauce. So we have enough glass jars to last us for the whole winter and it tastes so good. So that I'm really happy about. The trees being close to the front of the borders, they won't get smothered with too much soil on top of them. My other tree hasn't had any problem with me building a border around it. And I kept the soil low around the edge of the bottom of the trunk so it didn't get smothered or anything like that. And that tree produced a lot of apples this year. It's green, it's happy, it's healthy. In fact, I think it's better because it's keeping the moisture in the ground around the roots of the tree much more than before. That tree was struggling for a couple of years, but this year it's looked the best it's looked for a while, so it works. So I'm going to do the same here, just a little area, and we have lots of rocks over in our shield side garden that I want to go and collect. And this will be done quite quickly. So I'm going to get Yorkim to help because these are very heavy rocks and I can't do this on my own. And I'll just move the rocks that I already have at the back there to the side and start putting them out to make the outline, and we'll get this done in no time. I can fill up this border with soil and then I'll be able to get myself some new plants and it will be great. So I'm just going to get on with this and get Yorkim to come out and help me build this border. Last time, when I did the border over there, I actually didn't put any cardboard or anything on the ground to stop the grass from coming up. I thought that the soil would be deep enough that it would keep the grass at bay, and that's actually worked fine. So that border's looking great. So I'm going to do the same here, no complication. Stones around the hedge, fill up with soil, and then move some new plants in. Let's get on with the job of the day. So Yorkim is just on his way around with a big rock so I can start making my outline. Now I don't think I need to move this big rock from there. I need to start, or do I? Actually yes, I do. I think this needs to be the first one to turn to give the form, just like that. And then I have all these rocks in here that I need to roll out. Ooh. I'm always wondering if I'm going to see something exciting behind these rocks, but there's not much, just a few small insects, so I'm not disturbing much either. Let's see how I need it to stand up and look tall. Like that. Next to the other one, hold it in place. There, perfect. So now I've got the first ones starting my outline. And I carry on from here. So here is Yorkim with a big flat stone. I can put that on the side here, and I do have actually one behind to be able to support it while I stand it up. Here we go. Up. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, my back, I have to be careful. Right, so here we go. This one is here, and I don't need to go wider, as I said before. So that is enough, and I need a support rock, which I have here. That was perfect. There we go. that's another one. And I just need to come back over here to see how far out I want to take it that side. So there I have this rock here. This is the next rock to be turned to start the edging from this side. And there we go, it's in place. A support stone here, under that for a minute. So, there we go. And then I have this one in the middle that needs to be pulled out towards the edge. It's not a very tall one, but I can lay smaller rocks on top. But that will give me the chance to make another form here, like that. I have this pointy one that I like, and I might want to actually put this at the front because that gives a nice, like, sharp point. And there we go, just there, in front of the tree. Don't want to go too far forward, remember? So that is fine. So I literally don't need that many more new rocks to extend this border out there. Perfect. I better go out and help Joachim a little bit. I don't like the sharp corner there, so I need to move this a little bit forward, move this a little bit forward, because I need to change the shape. So there's a little bit more of a rounded flow, that's better. I've actually decided to put this one that Joachim just came with, this lovely big triangle shaped piece of granite, in front because it's got such a beautiful form, and it will hide the trunk of the apple tree that got a little bit damaged, so we won't see it from inside our cottage. But the only thing is, it's going to give a flat front. No, that's actually very nice. That is very nice. I like that. So now, one more big rock on its way to put in on this side. What I'm going to do is put smaller rocks in between the gaps, and then it will be fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go and get that last big rock. So I have the final last piece of large rock I need to get into space, and I've got my outline extension of my border finished in no time, thanks to Joachim's help, because these rocks are so big and heavy that I would not be able to move them on my own, that's for sure. But again, testament to what our garden keeps on giving. Rocks, rocks and rocks we find in our own garden. I just love this. I really love this. Now, oh, these rocks are very big and heavy, and I'm going to have to move this one first because this one's wider, to see how much or how many. Oh, 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 so heavy, so big. But I need to turn it around so I can get the bottom of it into place. Ooh. Wow. This one I feel like I need to move up there to be able to put a smaller one in between them here. So I'm just going to, ooh, it's even difficult to shimmy, it's so heavy. And, well, I can hardly move this on my own. I'm going to have to just leave it where it is, actually, and put a smaller rock in between there. And just say, that's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, I need to take away, it's a little bit of a straight line that I don't like. So the form needs to be curved just a little bit. And actually, this one is too big to be in there now. So I might have to move this one over to that side. So I can roll this one by myself. So I'm going to put this one, ooh, this one, oh, so heavy, so heavy. They look small, but these rocks are mighty heavy. Now this one, I feel I could put in here in some kind of way, watch your fingers, like that, yes. Now that's interesting because then I have space to put smaller rocks underneath to give a different kind of form. there's a hole. So yeah, that looks perfect. It's interesting. So there we have it. I have the outline of my new extended border piece finished here. Looks fabulous. And now all I need to get myself is probably around 20-30 sacks of soil and fill it up, and then I'm ready to plant out some new plants. It just looks fabulous. I want to take you in for a closer look so you can see what it looks like with the outline now. And as I said, I'm not going to be putting anything down to repress the grass, because the soil that's going to be in here is going to be probably about 20-30 centimeters deep. That grass is not going to grow up through there. It hasn't done so over there, so I'm really fine about this. I can get to my apple tree right round on both sides, and it's perfect. It's given us a lovely little enclave for our table that we can move more centrally afterwards, and I'll be able to carry on. So let's go in for that quick closer look of my lovely stone border. So here we go. Let's have a look at this. There we go. Quick and easy does it. Nice stone border around my apple tree. And it looks fantastic. I'm looking forward to being able to plant out more plants in the area. And as you can see, this is where we are. And it's just a little extension, but it's big enough to plant out a lot more plants. There we go, from all sides. And then you can see the view from our western facing crystal cottage windows, how I will be able to see down into this border. So now I just need to get it filled up with soil. So behind me, I have my completed new border, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. So I can't wait to take you in for a closer look now so you can see everything. And I've decided to go with a theme that looks like the forest floor. And I have found many different plants from around and about in my garden, and I've collected them and placed them here. And I also bought about a week ago a new fern that I've just left in a pot, and I decided to plant that out here. You'll see that in a moment. But apart from that, most of what's going on here are plants that can be found on the forest floor here in Sweden, and they grow naturally and prolifically in the area where I live, and they're so beautiful. So I just want to carry on that theme in my border, in my garden, which also makes the border very easy care. These plants will basically look after themselves for the most part, and they'll cope with the different temperature changes and the seasons, because they do out in the wild. So this is absolutely fantastic. Just a couple of bought plants and maybe a little bit of pruning here and there, and that's it. But this border looks amazing. So I'm really, really pleased with the connection down from the border that I had behind in the other green plants, and it flows down lower and lower to the front of this rock border. And well, I I love it. I really, really think it's come out so well that it was worth all the effort moving these heavy, heavy rocks around to get this final masterpiece that was created in a day. And I just think that is amazing. So let's go in for a closer look so you can see all of the plants that I've planted, and so that you can really understand why I'm so excited about this new little border. Let's go. So here we go. I just wanted to start here so that you can see the perspective I will have from my cottage windows, just a little bit higher up, but this is the view we'll have. So we'll carry on around here. And here you can see my beautiful new border. Look at that. And a little enclave for our table there on the right hand side of the border. So let's get in closer and see all the different plants. The gorgeous granite rocks that we found. And here the first plant, this is Picea abies, that has grown out more like a bush. So I will keep it low growing like this, keep it pruned, so it continues looking like this lovely bush work. I absolutely love that. And then down underneath that, you can see a little bit of lingonberry. And then next to those, some beautiful moss that will grow in under and around the other plants. And then here at the front, I've planted out Polypodium vulgare, a lovely miniature fern that creeps around on rhizomes and will fill out this area together with all the moss beautifully around the trunk of the apple tree. Doesn't that look amazing? And here, as it hugs around one of the rocks already, you can see how well it becomes a lovely spreading mass. Some of the moss that I've placed in over the stones here, it really does look like this border's been here for a very long time already because of this. There you go, you can see everything, a mix match of beautiful plants that make this evergreen border look like the forest floor. In the middle, planted out a lovely rhododendron bush. Here we go. Absolutely beautiful. And then next to that, look at this beautiful creeping juniper. Look how wonderfully it's hanging over the edge of the border already. And it grows off to the sides and creeps over everything else. The moss you can see here. And I've placed it so that the longest part of the plant creeps right in through the middle of the border over to the other side, so that this plant can carry on spreading out around in the area, mixing in with all the other plants. In under the rhododendron, I've planted out more of this beautiful lingonberry in different areas. Even behind at the back here, the lingonberry. Behind the beautiful juniper. And then to the side of the juniper, I've planted out a lovely evergreen fern. Look at this. Just gorgeous. I love the fronds on this. Very exotic style for a fern here in Sweden. I did buy this plant. It's absolutely beautiful. So I really do hope that it will carry on looking this beautiful all through the winter. and then grow out and mound out even more beautifully next season. And then in the back of the border that was already here is this lovely juniper. And then everything carries on up into the back where I have this lovely blue spruce. And beyond you can see Mariana's Corner and down into West Side Garden. But down here, this is the whole flow of this new border. Does it look like I just planted this out today? I don't think so. It looks like it's been here a mighty long time. But that's the beauty of planting plants with different textures, heights, leaf forms, colours, and meshing them together. So I shall really enjoy sitting here during the warmer weather and looking at all of this. To think that I've only just created this. Again, the flow with the blue spruce, the green juniper, and down into all the other evergreen plants here. An amazing flow down into the rest of the botanical garden, as you can see here, and on to the windows of our crystal cottage. And then the sweeping motion of the rock border into the rest of the botanical garden here. So this has become quite a big border now, but that's absolutely perfect for me. And the apple trees look just beautiful in this border like this now, I think. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing this piece of artwork that has sprung up in my garden, and well, just another new theme in my garden, because I do this constantly and always, and it's just something that gives me so much joy that I get so pleased when I've created something as beautiful as this, that's for sure. And I just love when I look out of my windows now that I can see this so clearly. And the more and more the leaves of the deciduous trees fall down, the more I'll get to enjoy the evergreen plants that are left for the long, cold winter time. And these plants, as I said, as they grow on the forest floor and so forth, and they're plants, for the most part, that don't like a lot of direct sun, they're going to be very happy underneath these apple trees during the summertime and all of the other trees around. And then when the sun is not as strong, they'll get some bright direct sunshine during the winter time, and that will just help them to glow and be happy. And well, it just feels wonderful. As I sit here looking at this little border, I get transported away to another world, and I think about all of the different creatures that are going to thrive around here. And when I was inside and looking outside, I already saw birds hopping around this border. And that just really, really excited me, because they're already interested in this patchwork of green. And they know there'll be lots of insects and all sorts living in amongst all of this. It's just fabulous. So I really hope me working on a little area of my garden here has inspired you, and you will get out and have some fun out in nature yourselves in some way or other. And in fact, during this time of the season, I really do love going for forest walks. So many colours and so much beauty to see. I could go on forever. So all I have to say now is thank you very much once again for watching this video. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be coming up, and I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.